Pollution, global warming, the Earth, our home. You get the picture of our current situation, yeah? The solution? It's quite obvious. Electric-powered vehicles. Better yet, solar-sourced energy. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves here. Yes, there are issues in how batteries are made themselves, and that begs the question how a shift to pure electric will be like. Will we end up jumping out of the frying pan and into another global threatening energy source? I don't really know at this point, but what is important is we better start acting on it. Fast. In one of my travels through the US, I met this New York native who is now based in the Windy City. I covered the Chicago moto scene and I met him in one of the moto events. He said, "Yo dude, aren't you that motorcycle guy, Makina?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not my name. I'm Zach." Met the guy, had a couple of beers, and from there I found out that Chris Zanner is building a prototype for an e-bike venture that he is getting into. This piqued my curiosity because I have never encountered a prototype in Makina before. Usually I get the finished production ready to sell product. We're talking origins here, the roots of an entrepreneur out to change the world and make us stamped in the moto industry. You need this kind of dream and ambition to get going, yeah? First things first, the e-bike is not as new as you might think. Hosea W. Libby of Boston invented an electric bicycle in 1897, US patent 596272, that was propelled by a double electric motor. Now the motor was designed within the hub of the crankset axle. This model was later reinvented and imitated in the late 90s. So yeah, the know-how behind the e-bike has been around for over a century. It's just that nobody really cared for it before. Yeah? It's not the case now, though. As I mentioned, pollution, global warming, not to mention rising fuel prices, is creating a demand for a cleaner and more efficient way to go around town. E-bikes are on the rise. Practically all manufacturers already have produced ready-to-ride models. And now, we have an e-bike that resembles a bicycle. It's the foundation and the base of our two-wheeled machines. Alright Chris, thank you so much for doing this. I actually met Chris in Moto Social. He just showed up with a little project bike. Tell me, how'd you get into it? What was on your mind?
So I built this thing last year after seeing a couple cool e-bike projects pop up in various places on the internet. I live in downtown Chicago and I have this garage here. It's exactly 2 miles away. I have a car I could drive, I have my motorcycles that I mainly keep here, but those 2 miles were so frustrating to conquer because of traffic, especially if it was during rush hour. I mean, it's walkable, but that would take too long. I wanted something super efficient. I like the on-demand power like you have with a motorcycle. So I decided to build one of these electric bicycles. I just felt like I could do it a little bit better. I got an old BMX bike and I put together some pieces and it was like an instant epiphany. It was silent, it was fast, I could lift it over my shoulder, no license, no registration, no insurance. Really solved the problem for me. And then I showed my friends and every single person who got off of the thing had a grin from ear to ear. After 1 year of building now my third version, not one person has got off and said, "Meh, it's cool." Everybody is just full of stoke when they get off of it. It inspires me to ride more. My daily rider, honestly, is my e-bike over there, and it is a lot of fun.
Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at your bike that you just did.
Yeah. This is the prototype. The frame has been built by a very prominent bicycle frame builder, super high quality. It's 4130 chromoly steel. It has withstood about 2,000 miles of abuse. It's gone through monsoon-like weather. It's really taken a licking and kept on ticking.
You are planning to mass produce this?
Yeah, my friend inspired me and gave me the push to try and take this to market and mass produce it. We think that we have a very unique opportunity because of a multitude of reasons. The overall silhouette will be very, very similar. We're going to do slight geometrical changes to the frame. So it's going to be very sleek, streamlined, a very obvious and smart design. We wanted to make this a bike that fit almost everybody. And to do that, you have to start with the rider triangle. It's the hand position, the seat position, and your foot position. I'm 6'1", and as you can see, I feel quite comfortable on this thing. It allows me to sit down and cruise. I can stand up and pedal and negotiate turns, whether it's in traffic or on a dirt track, pretty much any way that I like. Someone who's much shorter will feel comfortable on this, as well as somebody who's even taller than I am. The other reason that we went with the BMX is that it's very familiar. It's very approachable. People look at it and they think bicycle. They don't think, oh, that's more like a motorcycle, or I don't know what that thing is. No, I don't need to ride it. When it's a bicycle, everybody wants to get on it. And the moment they do, the grin comes out and they just want to ride more. And that is basically at least one of our mission statements, is to get people on bicycles, to get them having fun, replace some traditional transportation such as car or bus. It has to be able to stand up to whatever you throw at it, and that's basically what I've been doing for the past several months, is just sending it off of everything that I can. The thing is solid.
You got your little dash going on there. Power! I actually rode this the other day and I had fun. Curiously enough, your seat is quite the long style. Care to expound on why you decided to make it this long?
The most functional reason is because you can actually fit 2 people on this, and it's very capable of carrying 2 people. In my case, the testing weight with the 2 people I had on it was about 360 pounds.
Nice.
Second of all, really just design aesthetics. It's really inspired by the old Schwinn banana seats, or a Stingray seat that would be found on a small bicycle, which is essentially the inspiration for a BMX bicycle. And then if you go all the way down the line, then you come up on something like this.
You have an initial SRP in mind?
So we're actually going to have 2 models. The working title is the Commuter Model, and then the Fast Model. So the Commuter Model is going to be 750 watts and will come in either class 1, 2, or 3. And that's basically a combination of whether or not it has a throttle and what speed it's capped at. And that will start at $1,900, we estimate. And then the Fast Model will be $2,500, and that will have a 1,500 watt motor and will be capable of 33 to 35 miles per hour. This model is basically the Fast Model. It's a 1,500 watt brushless motor. It's super quiet, it's got great torque, and it goes super fast. For the other model that we will be offering is a 750 watt geared motor. And basically what that means is that it has a couple gears inside of a motor like this to use mechanical advantage to give you a little bit more torque for less power, and with less power you get more range. So the Commuter is really the all-around. It's still fun, it's still going to be plenty fast enough, and you're going to get a whole lot of range out of it. The Fast Model is when you want a little bit more of a spirited ride. That's really where our heart is at.
Power-wise, I can imagine the Fast one would be sipping a bit more juice there.
So the Fast Model will have a shorter range than the Commuter, but it will have a very effective service range of, we expect 25 miles for the Fast Model, but that is what we consider as a low number. When I say 25 miles, I mean you're on the throttle the whole way, no pedaling, fast, 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 throttle, 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 25 miles. So if you milk it, sure, you could get 35, 40. And the Commuter Model, we're expecting somewhere between, at a low number, 35 miles, and at a high number, 50 plus.
It's a pretty good range. For the mod guys, you're gonna be making sure that the bike will be, like, you can swap out shocks here and there in the future?
The spokes and the rims and the tires are basically a light motorcycle duty. And that is the only part on the bike that is not a bicycle part. You'll be able to modify just about anything you like, whether you want to add lights, whether or not you want to add different grips or pedals, if you want to change the color. If you can take apart a bicycle and put it back together, you can take this apart and put it back together.
What stage are you in right now in terms of moving forward to marketing this? Do you have a timeline?
We're hoping to make a big splash, and that will all happen in 2019. Right now we have a finalized prototype that has been rigorously tested over about 5 months now. We are about to begin constructing the final design bikes, basically what you would get if you buy this bike. Just after we finish that, then we have a 2-month media push that runs up to a crowdfunding campaign.
And you're starting to sell first here in America?
Yeah, definitely looking at the global market. We have still yet to decide if we're going to do that in the first round or concentrate on America first and then branch out. We will be sourcing from pretty much the best producers of things like the bicycle frame, the motors, the batteries, etc., and that comes from various places like China and Taiwan. Final assembly and testing, everything will be shipped out from here. Customer support, all of our various faculties that will be built around the organization will all be based here.
Can't pass judgment on a prototype, but the idea of an electric BMX appeals to me. I did another review on an electric mountain bike last year, the Bultaco Brinco R. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Zooz Bikes, good luck to you. They have an Indigo page going on. Do check it out. And I always say a step towards preserving our planet, especially by the smaller players, should always get some support from all of us. We have one planet. That's it. Here's to a cleaner home. This is Zach from Makina Moto Features. Ciao.